What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. We'll be looking at, has Stan Kroenke named his price to sell Arsenal Football Club to Spotify owner Daniel Ek? Big up everyone in the comments. Thank you for tuning in. I'm pretty sure I was on time today. I see people saying, is he on time? I'm pretty sure I was there today. I meant 2:30. Yeah, 2:30. I meant 2:30 today, you know. Bruv, I had to. You know, I have to kind of sit between Burkamp and Henry so you can see them all. But this green screen's going to be on for a few days, man. They're too legendary for me to take them off. You know, Kroenke out for real, man. Has to go. We have to get rid of this guy. Daniel Ek buyers, please. Kroenke leave. We continue to protest till they sell. New owner and board should do away with Arteta and Edu. Bring back a proper scouting system. No disrespect to Edu and Arteta. They are inexperienced for a massive job at Arsenal. I mean, that would be interesting. $1 trillion. Austin Powers settings, yeah? It would be interesting to see if a new ownership would come about in a change in the manager. Don't change that screen till we're in the final. It might stay up there, man. It's a 30 green screen, man. I don't mind leaving it up there, you know? Yes, Curtis, my G, what's good, fam? There's some big news in it. Listen. It's big if it happens. Do you know what I'm saying? It's big if it happens. Big up Jim Gooner TV. Big up Curtis Shaw TV. Smash the likes. Big up Nick. Listen, let's get into it, people. There is a lot of mixed reports. There is. And this is what we're going to get into, you know. Let's see whether we think there's any genuine, you know, sustainability in this. Is there going to be an offer? This is the news that has come out in the Telegraph today on Daniel Ek. It says Daniel Ek will make a bid. In fact, let me zoom in on that a little bit so you guys can see it a bit better. There you go. Daniel Ek will make a bid in the region of 1.8 billion for Arsenal in the next 10 days. Those who know Ek are convinced that he is in it for the long haul. Now, it's a long report. I'm not going to get into it too much. It's a very long story about it, but there's a few people commenting on it, and they say that he wouldn't make this offer if he wasn't serious. They say he's a very focused man in business, in the sense that when he goes for something, he usually gets it, and if he gets it, he makes it work. Now, those of you who know, his Spotify brand is very, very unpopular in the music world. A lot of people say that it's unfair the way he pays people so much money for their music and other people get less. This is business, unfortunately. This is the way it works. What we need to know a little bit, because we're all kind of singing and dancing for this guy at the moment, but what is his plan? What is his plan if he gets Arsenal? You know, I want to know. Okay, fine. You're going to buy Arsenal. You're going to bring in Thierry and Dennis and Vieira. That looks great on the front of a newspaper. We all love that. But what is your plan? Are you going to give a manager 150 million to spend? You know, how will we bring scouts back? We got rid of nearly all of our scouting department in the summer, and we're going completely almost off Edu to sign the players. Are we going to bring back a scouting department? Will Mikel Arteta stay in the job? Are you looking for an experienced manager? Now, it was crazy. For those of you who've got Spotify, actually, apparently Spotify Premium went up by £2 yesterday. Those of you who got Spotify, a lot of people will have got an email saying that it's gone up by £2, and that sparked more, you know, hysteria that, this £2 extra that we're all paying, that's going to go towards buying Arsenal. I think we're very early in the process. They're saying 10 days until the offer. So that would be by the end of next week. Now, there is another report. Now, how reliable this is, we don't know. Kevin Witcher, who puts up a lot of reports about Arsenal, he hasn't even got the biggest of platforms, but he has called a few things out before. He said, just heard from a well-connected source that Stan Kroenke is willing to sell Arsenal for 2.15 billion. He paid just over 1 billion buying the club. The failure of the European Super League rather than fan protests is what has created a change in policy at KSE Group. Now, this rumour, obviously, we've just seen the previous report saying that Daniel Ek is willing to pay, his first offer is going to be 1.8 billion. He wants 2.15. So you're looking at 300 million difference. So Kroenke is going to naturally reject that offer. Ek will just make that offer just to open negotiations, see how serious he is about buying the football club. You would hope that they could meet somewhere and get the deal done. Now, this is probably right here. This could take a long time, hopefully not a year or two. But this isn't something that's going to get done in a few weeks. This could take months and months and months. But let's just hope it does get done. This is the main thing. Now, an interesting thing that came up yesterday, obviously Matthew Flamini, and I spoke about this yesterday. There was rumours that he was involved in possibly potentially buying the club. Now, what was interesting, on the Wikipedia page of the company that Matthew Flamini runs and part owns, Josh Kroenke is one of the owners. So he's actually involved with the Kroenke. So now there are rumours coming out saying, listen, there is no chance that Flamini would have anything to do with taking over Arsenal. He's more involved with the Kroenkes. He should offer £1 billion like Kroenke did for Suarez. There you go. Guys, we're returning to greatness. That's what we need. That's what we need. Smash the likes, people. Yeah, listen, I think at the moment we're a long, long way off any kind of deal being done. I think the fans still have to make their voices heard. I've heard a lot of mixed reports from fans. There is a rumour that the 6th of May is supposed to be the next protest. Now, the 6th of May is the evening that we play Villarreal in the second leg at home. Now, I've seen a lot of people saying that we shouldn't protest because it's such a big game, you know, the second leg, and will it take the focus of the players off the game? You know, we've seen that the Arsenal players are quite weak-minded at times. Do we leave it on that day and protest when it's the Premier League games, or do you guys think, listen, players, you man up and deal with it. We're going to protest every single home game. What are your thoughts on that, people? Shafi said, any watch along today? I am back tonight, 7:45, Real Madrid against Chelsea. 7:45 tomorrow night as well for PSG Man City. And then obviously Thursday, Scenes FC is back. Villarreal against Arsenal. And we'll have a preview out for that tomorrow. Leicester fan here. You know what? You're loving it right now, innit? Leicester on fire, man. Top 4 is looking secure for them. Regardless, you will lose. Do you know what I mean? But they said, F that, Curtis. Man up, protest. These players will bottle it either way. Darren says, big up, Curtis, and everyone in the chat. Big up, bro. Free Pepe, still protest on the 6th. Jim Gooner said, I think it depends on the result from the first game. It's crazy, isn't it? We got a weak group of players, man. Protect these players. Are soft, fix up. Proper soft players, Bridget. I'm telling you. If I was in the UK, I would be. Yeah. Listen, there were people flying in. I couldn't believe it. I met someone there who'd flown in from South Africa just to protest. Big up Arsene Wenger. Is it the real Arsene Wenger, eh? Listen, fellas, I have a hit my... Oh, no. We can't be doing that. Listen, I appreciate your super chat. I can't be putting that kind of slander. But listen, I appreciate your support on the channel. Scenes FC is back on Thursday because listen, you guys think you've seen me animated before. If we dare to sack a manager, the majority of people were bantering this guy off, how he talks and all that. It was quite unfair, really. And then we end up getting knocked out to him. I'm gonna be like, no, we just can't. We can't do it. Would be so typical of Arsenal. I know you're joking. I have to be careful when I'm reading them kind of things out, you know. Tim says, big up, brother Curtis. I'm sorry, but this deal won't happen, unfortunately. It's being hyped up so much, as I'd really love it. Kroenke won't sell Love from Nairobi. Listen, I always say, with possessions, particularly ones that clearly he doesn't care that much about Arsenal. I think it has its price. I think if somebody turned up and put the right amount of money on the table, you could get Kroenke to consider it. I really do. I think he would look at it and think, you know what? I've read a report that Arsenal are set to lose over 100 million by the end of next season. The club is losing money. There's no Champions League football. We're not selling players for big money. We lost Sanchez, Ozil, all these players that we bought. We haven't recouped for them. Aaron Ramsey. I think at the right price, Kroenke would consider it, but I'm not sure how serious this Daniel Ek is until I see breaking news, offers being made. Then with the fan pressure carrying on, then maybe we can get a little bit optimistic. But at the moment, I'm still a little bit apprehensive. Man United qualified for Champions League. First game October, booted out in December. Champions League won't help this club right now. It doesn't make you huge amounts of money unless you get far in the competition. How far would Arsenal currently get in the Champions League? I mean, we could get knocked out in the group stage unless we really strengthen this team in the summer. It'll be so typical. Arsenal qualify for the Champions League, then finish third in the group and end up back in the Europa League. You know what I mean? Oz says, let's get a crowd fund going for a plane for the second leg home game. I mean, those are things that can be done quite easily, to be honest. People saying group stage Arsenal would go out. Because the thing is, back in the day, we were a top seed. So we were classed as the best team in the group. I reckon we'd probably be a second seed now. So you would have a team that's better than us. And some of these third seeds are decent as well. So Curtis X said the Google owner is a close friend. Surely he can put an extra billion on his 1.8. Yeah, I mean, I think there will be a lot of other people who will invest. As I said, silent investment. This will not be all Daniel Ek, because I think he will, if he's worth just over 3.5 billion, he's not going to spend 2 billion on Arsenal, even though it doesn't come directly out of his own money. It would just be too big a risk. There will definitely be investment from elsewhere. Ola Depo said, hi, Curtis. Quick question. I know Arsenal are linked to Basuma, but do you think we would be priced out of him? Would a player like Anguissa be a good buy as Fulham may get relegated? He's looked all right for Fulham, to be fair. I think Basuma will be 30, 40 million. I think he'll be difficult. He's a lifelong Arsenal fan. I think he would want to come here. But will Arsenal pay the money? That's always the problem. Free Pepe, we need that oil money. We need something, man. You know what I mean? Arsene Wenger, right? That's a much more settled super chat, so I can read this one out properly. Big up for the support. Would you rather have Ozil or Alexis back for the Europa League? Are we talking about the level they're at now or them at their best? I mean, if you're talking about them at their best, I got to take Alexis, man. He's a game changer. He's a match winner. Just give him the ball, something's going to happen. Ozil was a creator, so ultimately he could create the chance, but he needed someone to finish it. And we've seen that when we had people like Mesut Ozil, they couldn't finish them chances. So big up Alan. He said, big up Curtis. Greetings from Malaysia. The fight must go on. Kroenke out 100%. Curtis, do you think it will take us not qualifying for Europe next season to hit his wallet hard enough for him to sell? Do you know what? A lot of people are saying this. If we win the Europa League, he won't sell because we'll be back in the Champions League. But we just couldn't take the risk. Imagine we went out and thought, right, that's it, he's going to sell now. And he just sits there and says, I ain't going nowhere. I don't care that you're not in Europe. I'm still going to collect my money and that's it. So it's too risky. But I hear what you're saying. It's a great point, but it's not like he's come out and said it. So unfortunately, we don't know the answer. That's the problem. Big up Vegas Gunner. Thank you very much for your super chat. Do you think our Europa results will have an effect on Kroenke selling or holding? I mean, yeah, as we were just saying there, I think if we are not in Europe next season, that's millions again, that go out of the pot. We're set to lose 100 million by the end of next season due to having a full season of no fans, not selling players for good money. I think he would have to consider, but it's horrible that the thought process would be a team needs to fail even more for him to sell the football club. It's a very difficult situation. Shano said, I'll call it now. Flamini will buy Arsenal. I mean, listen, if he did, great, but I don't think he will. You know, as I said, I'm reading now that Kroenke part owns his company. Prime Henry or Prime Shearer, seeing as both deserve their Hall of Fame induction, it's got to be Henry. Had more to his game, didn't need service as much. You could give him the ball on the halfway line, he'll run past four and bend it in. Alan Shearer couldn't do that. Shearer's a supreme finisher, unbelievable. I actually did a Premier League Greatest 11 a couple months ago, and I didn't put Shearer up front with Henry because I think growing up, I never fully appreciated Alan Shearer because I loved players with a little style and sauce, man. You know what I mean? And Shearer had the shirt tucked in, the shorts high, and plain Umbro boots, man. He had no sauce, but he was a bad boy finisher. But then Henry had the socks pulled above the knees, the shirt hanging out, you know, the silver or white or red vapors. He had all the sauce. But Shearer deserves a lot of credit, man. He was an unbelievable striker. I can't call it. You can't call him a tapping merchant, man. He was a serious striker still. I just never, you know what I mean? Growing up, I wasn't a fan of Shearer at all, to be honest. But as I've got older, I appreciate what he was as a footballer. Rather than, you know, growing up, I didn't grow up and think I want to be like Shearer, but he was a great finisher. It was not. Go and watch that interview. Actually, I think it was on Sky. Shearer and Henry were talking about each other, and it was funny. You know, Shearer called Henry the perfect footballer. He said there was nothing he couldn't do, and you know, Henry said that Shearer was the best finisher that he'd seen. He said, you know, so strong, so clinical. Great interview. Go and check it out. Henry said he cried when he left Arsenal. You know, it was brilliant. Arsene Wenger obviously joins in the interview on the telephone as well. And it was amazing how Henry still calls Arsene Wenger boss, you know. Still got that respect for him. Listen, Damien, Ian Wright, I got to be honest, Wrighty for me was the player probably that made me support Arsenal. That was the first one that caught my attention and made me think, I want to support that club. I love Nicolas Anelka at Arsenal, a player that hardly ever gets spoken about by Arsenal fans at all. He was absolutely unbelievable at Arsenal, Nicolas Anelka. Loved him. Dennis Bergkamp on this screen, loved him. You know, I was a young striker, so I always loved strikers. And so it was like Wrighty, Anelka, Bergkamp, and Thierry Henry. That little line of strikers there, that was it for me. You know, that was it. I was Arsenal all the way. Them guys that was the connection, you know? Yeah, all day. Wiltor definitely as well. Underrated. Great little player, man. French international. Carnu as well. We had those guys would walk into Arsenal's team now. You know, top quality players. Big up Naveen from Trinidad. Big up Ricky says, big up Curtis. Henry had swag on and off the field. Shearer was old school. Got to admit, some of our strikers could actually learn a thing or two from Shearer. 100%. That Anelka feint against Blackburn was ridiculous. Just an unbelievable natural goal scorer. I agree, Wrighty was the reason I supported Arsenal. So many people connected with him. Do you know what? I was saying this yesterday. I think I referred to Vieira first, and I was saying, how has Patrick Vieira not got a statue at Arsenal? For me, some of you guys may be older than me, and you may have seen different midfielders. So you may have other opinions. Vieira's the best midfielder I've seen play for Arsenal. He had everything. You know, Henry even spoke about it in his interview. He said he was so good he could have probably played centre mid by himself. You know, but Ian Wright as well. Absolute legend. He was the highest goal scorer until Thierry Henry broke the record. You know, but I'm really shocked that Vieira definitely and maybe right. Even Arsene Wenger, you know, as much as he tarnished it at the end, we can't forget what he did in the early years. So it'd be interesting if they do add some new statues. Anelka had a bad attitude. Yeah, Le Souk, man, that's what they called him in France. Le Souk. The attitude probably stopped him being one of the best strikers in the world. Bro, I'm having to talk about... I'm just reminiscing right now. You know, right now, who are we going to talk about? Granit Xhaka and Eddie Nketiah. No, I'm just reminiscing, man. We had some unbelievable players, man. Even the kit, you know. Big up Don Draper. He said, big up Big C. The Super League is on standby. That's why I think KSE won't sell. You make a great point there, Don. You know, it was interesting that they said it's suspended. It's on standby. They didn't say it's gone. it was like, you know what? You lot aren't ready for it now. We'll try again in a year or two. Do you know what I'm saying? That was the impression that I got. So yeah, you could be right there. Diaby was level. Shame he got ruined with injuries. 100%. He could have been a player. And Rosicki and Santi Cazorla. Big up Sammy said, cheeky lunch break listening to Big C. Keep it up, bud. Hey, I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. Overmars was quality, someone said. Yeah, listen, let's have a look at some of the current stuff going off before I reminisce too much. You know what I mean? Big story here. Want to know your opinions on these 6 players that are on the screen. Arsenal could sell 6 players to add 120 million to Mikel Arteta's transfer kitty this summer. Now, first of all, are these 6 players worth 120 million in this transfer window? Bear in mind that we're in a pandemic. You've also got to look at the fact Eddie Nketiah, Guendouzi and Lacazette all have only a year left on their contract. What I want to know from you guys in the comments, out of those 6, who would you keep? Who would you keep at Arsenal out of those 6? Me looking at it, Eddie Nketiah would sell straight away. Bellerin would be gone. I think the other 4 have an argument for keeping and selling. Guendouzi has been named the French under-21 captain. He's 21 years of age. He's a full French international. He's got talent. The problem is the attitude. You know, is he a disruption in the dressing room? That is the problem. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he's 23 years of age. He's an England international. He can play right back, centre mid, right wing back, left wing back. Very versatile. Do you keep him? Lacazette, you've got a problem with Lacazette because he's playing well. All right, he's injured now. But if you get rid of Lacazette, you've got to replace him. Or can we just go Aubameyang, Balogun, and maybe Martinelli as a striker and not go out there and replace him? All difficult. Tell me the ones you would sell, people. Let's have a look. Adi said, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, his versatility is priceless. Franz Bailey said, Guendouzi keep. Anthony said, no, Curtis, all have to go. Get Dakar and Basuma to replace Guendouzi and Lacazette. Lacoste sell. Tristan said, keep Guendouzi, definitely. He was class under Emery. Yeah, Buddy said, big up, Big C. Much shout out from the Philippines. Keep Ainsley Maitland-Niles, sell the rest. Scar said, only Lacazette I'd keep. Maybe Maitland-Niles, that's it. Taylor said, Guendouzi. Nevin said, get rid of the petulant child. This is the problem with Guendouzi. You know, I've got a little bit. You know what? I would sell Torreira. I would sell Torreira because he doesn't want to be in England. And you will never get the best out of a player who doesn't want to be in the country. It's just not going to happen. He spoke about leaving time and time again. He lost his mum. He said he wants to be back in South America. So for me, I would let Guendouzi, I would let Torreira go. So Torreira, Bellerin, and Nketiah, I would definitely let those 3 go. Ainsley's a difficult one because I don't think Ainsley wants to just be a squad player at Arsenal. He did an interview recently where he was speaking about how happy he is playing centre midfield for West Brom. And I just don't think that the manager is convinced by him. I don't think LG don't want Ainsley Maitland-Niles to come back. Listen, Ainsley is a decent. Listen, the question is this with Ainsley, right? Is he any worse than Mohamed El Neni as a centre mid? You know, I don't know, but they're not convinced by him. Listen, I think Ainsley will be. I think the club would let Ainsley go for the right price. I honestly do. I don't think the manager is convinced by him. Matteo Guendouzi, I'm not sure he will get a chance under Mikel Arteta. I just don't think he'll want his attitude anywhere near him. He's got so many problems to deal with, Mikel Arteta. I think he's just going to have the attitude that I don't need that problem. Me personally, if I was a manager, I'd like to look at Guendouzi and think, you know what? I can sort that attitude out. I can turn him into a better footballer because Guendouzi's got ability. You know, a 21-year-old French international. I know someone said there he's only got one cap, but on paper, he's a full French international at 21 years of age. He's better than El Neni. He's better than what Dani Ceballos has been this season. But has Mikel Arteta got that man management to get the best out of him? And then the other thing, yeah, Joe Willock, everything I'm hearing is that Arsenal may keep him. Whether you guys agree with that or not, again, let me know. Would you keep Joe Willock? Granit Xhaka, in my opinion, will 100% be at Arsenal next season. Mikel Arteta loves that guy. He absolutely loves him. So I don't see Granit Xhaka going in anyway. They're saying 120 million. I'm not sure if that is 100 or 120 million. I would suggest the most expensive player on here, Lacazette, maybe. I think you could get 20 to 25 to Lacazette. You probably could sell him back to Lyon. Eddie and Nketiah, you'd be lucky to get 15 million for him. I mean, he's an England under 21 player, so that may bump the price up a little bit. Guendouzi, how much would he be worth? You know, a year left on his deal. I think you could get 20 to 25 for Lacazette. Let's say 15 for Eddie, 15 for Guendouzi. I mean, yeah, I don't think you'd get 20 million for Guendouzi. I don't think many teams would want him, just because of the attitude and things like that. So I'd say, let's say 25 for Lacazette, 15 for Eddie, that's 40. 15 for Guendouzi, that's 55. Ainsley, we turned down 20 last year. Maybe we get 20 again for him. So you're looking at what, 80 there. I mean, Torreira wants to go to Boca Juniors, but everything I've heard is that Boca can't buy him. They haven't got the money to buy him. They could only take him on loan. So will they allow him to go there on loan and just take a small loan fee for him? And you might get 20 for Bellerin just on the hype. He's a bit of a name brand, you know? So to me, I think you're looking at more like 80 million, not 120 million. But listen, what do you guys think? I just can't see. I can't see that being 120 millions worth of players. Big up Gunner Girl. Go and subscribe to her channel. She said 15 for Eddie. I think that's a stretch even. Do you know what? I'm literally going off the fact that in January, he was being linked to West Ham for 15 million. So, yeah, listen, for me, I think we'd struggle to get 10 million for him. I'm just going off the fact that West Ham were linked at 15. But whether they would come back and buy him, you know, it could be a stretch. It may be a case of you take 10 million with a sell-on clause for these players. But yeah, I think you're right here. 70, 80 million altogether. But as I said, would you keep any of these? And are there... I mean, listen, you got to remember, Said Kolasinac, he's only on loan. He's got 1 year left on his deal. So Kolasinac comes back in the summer, you know. Joe Willock, as I said, you've got a decision to make on Joe Willock. Do you keep him? Newcastle apparently are desperate to keep him. They want to buy him for 20 million. Would you sell Joe Willock? We've got so many decisions to make. I would sell El Neni as well. I would chuck El Neni in there. We're also going to have a situation this summer where Mavropanos and William Saliba are back from loan. So we're going to have Saliba, Mavropanos, Gabriel, Pablo Mari, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers, and obviously David Luiz, whose contract, whether they renew that or not. So we're going to have to sell one or two centre-backs as well. So we've got so much business to do this summer. You know, it's crazy. Laka 25, Willock 20, Maitland-Niles 20, Bellerin 25, Guendouzi 15, Torreira 10 equals 115 million. I mean, that's not too unreasonable. I think we could get 25 for Laka, 20 for Ainsley and Willock, maybe 20 for Bellerin, Guendouzi and Torreira. Yeah, not bad. 70 million at best. Shout out from Botswana. Big up, man. Big up. Appreciate you tuning in. Martinez was the quality player who was let go. Shouldn't have got rid of him. You know, you look at Man United now, they've got Dean Henderson, who's an England international, and they've got David De Gea, Spain's #1 goalkeeper. You don't all of a sudden start panicking and say, oh my God, we've got 2 good goalkeepers. How can we possibly keep 2 good goalkeepers? You don't have to sell one of them. You can keep one of them. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, Arsenal needed the money, and I understand that. We turned down 20 million for Ainsley Maitland-Niles last summer from Wolves. We could have sold him, instead of Emi Martinez. We haven't needed Ainsley this season at all. He's hardly played. We've loaned him out. No one's sitting there saying, yo, we needed Ainsley. No, we needed Emi Martinez. Do you know what I'm saying? And I know we bang this drum over and over again, but top clubs can have 2 good goalkeepers. You can. I don't think Arsenal should have committed so much to Bernd Leno and said, you're #1. I think I would have sat there and said, listen, Emi, it's your shirt to lose. You've come in, you've done fantastic. You've helped us win the FA Cup. Bernd Leno's been out injured. As far as I'm concerned, when we start first game of the season at Fulham, Emi Martinez, you'll be playing. Until you make a mistake or Bernd Leno does unbelievable and pulls you out of the team, you're not going nowhere as far as I'm concerned. And Emi, let's be honest, Emi's very bitter about Arsenal. You can tell that he wanted to stay at Arsenal. Well, a lot of people, listen, we're gonna do a proper preview tomorrow regarding the Villarreal game, and we'll talk about Matt Ryan. Whether you guys think Matt Ryan should play on Thursday ahead of Leno, it's a risky one. It's such a big game. Would you change it around or not? But we'll definitely look into that. Big up Vegas Gunner with a super chat. They'll sell these guys to pay back the government loan. I mean, you make a great point there. People are forgetting Arsenal borrowed £120 million. This money has to be paid by June. So it will be the fans paying for that. The season tickets will all come back. Arsenal start getting linked with a bit. Arsenal do this every year. End of May, start of June, they'll start throwing out transfer stories. Then they'll open up the season tickets and everyone gets hyped up. And then, the transfer window usually fizzles out after that point, And they've done it loads of times. Loads and loads of times. Hey, big up my boy Deluded, man. Hope you're good, bro. Get the likes up. Hey, come on, man. I mean, I don't even know what the likes are on right now, people. But I appreciate everyone tuning in. Nearly 1,500 of you in the chat. Thanks for your great support as usual. Smash that subscribe button as well. We're nearly at 25,000 subscribers. Let's get there ASAP. And don't forget, live watch along tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday night. Real Madrid, Chelsea tonight, PSG, Man City, and then Arsenal, Villarreal. What about Xhaka? 10 million and we never have to be embarrassed again. I mean, Xhaka ain't going nowhere. This manager loves him. You'll probably see Xhaka get a new contract, It wouldn't surprise me. Big up Big C, loving the stream today from the Green Gooner. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Obviously, yesterday, we heard the news about Balogun signing a new contract. Now, that's got a lot of people talking now. What's that going to mean for the Arsenal striker situation? We know Aubameyang, obviously, signed a long-term deal. He will be there. I look at Gabriel Martinelli and I see a striker. I see a guy that eventually will play through the middle, that low center of gravity, that ability to press and hassle people. I think he's good at getting shots off quickly. I think long-term, Gabriel Martinelli will be a striker. It's just whether this manager gives him the opportunity to do that. Now, we've got decisions to make this summer. Eddie Nketiah has got a year left on his deal. For me, it's a no-brainer. I think you sell him. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's proved enough. And listen, I always say this. Everyone talks about Hale End, producing players. Not every player that we produce at Hale End has to become a top player at Arsenal. For every Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe and Cesc Fabregas and Jack Wilshere, you'll get a Carlos Vela who you sell for a couple of million here and a few million there. If we sold Eddie Nketiah for 10 million, 12 million, 15 million, that's a success. That's Hale End doing its job. You know, a guy that's come through the system, that's been in the first team for a couple of years, and you get 10, 15 million. That to me is a success story. Chelsea do that 5 times a season. I would have absolutely no problem if Eddie and Nketiah left. Now, I know you always have this worry that is this player going to turn around and become a superstar? And, you know, and we've wasted, it's another Serge Gnabry. I think sometimes you can just see that a player he's only going to reach a certain level. Eddie, to me, is a poacher and not too much more than that. I don't think he's Arsenal level right now, and I would move him on. Lacazette, we're going to have a difficult situation because the way he was playing, I was getting the impression that Arteta was going to keep him. Now, with this injury, the club haven't announced yet how long he's out for. There is a press conference tomorrow, so look out for the show tomorrow. We're going to get all the team news after Arteta's press conference. I'm more of the opinion that Arsenal, I'm leaning more towards letting Lacazette go than keeping him. I've got to be honest. I just think to have Aubameyang 32 this summer on 300 grand a week, have Willian on nearly 200 grand a week, who's 32, and then to give Lacazette maybe 200 grand at age 30, I just think you got 3 players there with no value who will be declining as players and getting massive wages, and you're tied to them. I'm more inclined to let him go. The only way I would possibly keep him if you could give him a short-term contract extension. So you maybe just add another year to his contract without giving him a 2 or 3 year deal on a big improvement on the wages. Because I just think the problem is it will be very expensive to replace. You know, I think you're looking at players like Memphis Depay's being linked with Barcelona. Danny Ings, they're saying 50 million Southampton want. You look at the boy Ivan Toney. Brentford want 40 million for a guy in the Championship. You never know how a player's going to do at the Championship. So you're going to have big decisions to make on them. Big up I Am King, he said, respect Big C, but you're capping if you say no one will want Matteo. He's a top player and just a kid. Listen, when I say no one will want him, teams will want him. I'm looking at it more as, would a top team want him? You know, would he? I remember when Arsenal were trying to offer him to Lyon in a swap deal for Aouar, and Lyon weren't interested. Now, Lyon are notorious for getting young French talent and flipping it, you know, turning them into good players and selling. They didn't want him. And this is what I'm saying. It's not so much his talent. Are people put off by his general attitude? You know, we heard the manager of Hertha Berlin saying, you know, he's like an immature teenager earlier on in the season. So it doesn't look well when you've misbehaved at Arsenal. We've loaned you out and you've gone and done the same thing at the loan club. That doesn't look good on you as a player. So listen, I respect your opinion, but that's my explanation. It's nothing to do with talent. I think Matteo Guendouzi is a talented footballer. Big up Shadman with a super chat. Thank you very much. Said there's no way we are seeing a penny from any of these potential sales. First time ever KSE will pay out of their pocket, and it's the damn 8 million for losing ESL. They will keep taking Kroenke out. The thing is, he does usually say, Stan Kroenke, that all money raised from sales goes back into the club. I think that's what he actually does say, you know. I'll give you what your club has earned. Listen, he's going to give Arteta 40 or 50 million probably to spend, which is absolute peanuts for a team that's trying to get back in the top 4. And then they will say you can spend what you get from player sales. There are a lot of players this year, which is different from a lot of previous years where you can actually go and sell players and earn money. Pack said, give Lacazette a year extension and sign Haaland. Haaland is not coming to Arsenal. I think that's for certain. But yeah, this is a year where we can say, right, we can sell a Torreira, Guendouzi, Bellerin, El Neni, you know, Xhaka, although they won't sell Xhaka, but I probably would consider it. Lacazette, you know, there's loads of players there. Callum Chambers, possibly. Mavropanos, you know, they may sell him. I just want to see Saliba come back and be involved as well. You know, he could be a star for us. Anthony Michael said, Dakar, 25 million, no-brainer. How good is this Patson Dakar? You know, I've seen a lot of his highlights. I know he bangs goals in Austria. Do you guys think he's the real deal? Could he come to a league like the Premier League and be successful? I know he's got a great goal record. I'm late to the stream. What's the price? Well, according to reports, 2.15 billion. But apparently Daniel Ek's going to offer 1.8. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Patson Dakar is rapid. I mean, listen, man, is he good, though? Is he good? You know, Theo Walcott was rapid. Gervinho was rapid, you know, but is he good? You know? Curtis, where do you think these clubs are getting these funds from to buy our players? Most clubs are skint due to the pandemic. It's true, it's going to be a very difficult market. I think you will see a lot of swap deals this summer. You know, I think you'll see swap deals more than you've seen in previous years because money is so tight this summer. The only way clubs are going to be able to buy big players is those clubs with the owners where they're throwing money on the table. You know, you'll probably see Chelsea spend 150 million. Man City will spend. Financial fair play is out the window this summer. This is the summer where you need your owner to start flexing and say, listen, all right, I am rich. Let me give you the money because the market is going to be so restricted. Look at Real Madrid. They're in debt. Barcelona are in financial difficulty as well. You know, a lot of clubs are restricted. Liverpool are having problems, saying that they're losing a lot of money. And this is where we'll see this summer that Stan Kroenke is not prepared to push this club forward because he won't put his hand in his pocket. Shano said Dakar is good on FIFA. Hey, there's a lot of man good on FIFA, you know, who are not so good in real life. That's the problem. Sometimes you have to take a gamble on players like Dakar. I agree, you know, because you've seen teams like Dortmund, they take gambles on players all the time. I'm sure every club, and I mean every club, in the Premier League, especially the Big Six, they will have seen Jude Bellingham, right? Jude Bellingham got in the first team at Birmingham City at 16 years of age. Young English player. Every one of them Big Six probably looked at him. They would have gone, 15 million. He's only 16, 17. He's not going to get in our first team. Let's leave it. Dortmund come in. Do you know what? We like the look of him. We're going to put him in our first team. Now, look, England international. And guess what? In 2-3 years' time, when he leaves Dortmund and wants to come back to England, someone's going to have to pay 60 million, 70 million, probably, for Jude Bellingham. Same thing with Jadon Sancho. He left for compensation. I think Dortmund got him for £7 million. Last summer, Man United had, £85 million offer turned down for Jadon Sancho. The system in England, it's very lazy. They're demanding instant success and they're not prepared to go and sign a Jude Bellingham and give a 17-year-old a chance in the first team because they've got pressure from the fans and from the sponsors. They want big names and stuff like that. Curtis, would you take Iheanacho? See, the problem with Iheanacho is he's in outstanding form. How long will he keep it up for? I don't think many people are sitting there and thinking, yo, man, Iheanacho is a serious player. I think people are sitting there saying Iheanacho's in great form. You know, to be fair, at Man City, he had a good goal record. And he's in fantastic form. 14 goals in 14 games. But I would have to see more from Iheanacho. He would have to do this over a whole season for me to be convinced. But he is playing well. Yeah, like you said, Bellingham, I'm probably doing him a disservice at 60 million. He'll probably be 100 million. I actually think Jude Bellingham, I would go as far to say he is an exceptional midfielder. I think he's one of the best English centre mids. Honestly, I do. I think he's absolutely outstanding. The kid's 17 years of age, you know, bending it top corner in the Champions League against Man City, you know, but we're hyping up man like, who even plays centre mid for England? Declan Rice, Jordan Henderson. I mean, they're decent players, of course. But Bellingham, how they let him leave and go to Dortmund, I will never know. 100 not out, Curtis Wrighty. And Nketiah is the English Iago Aspas. Aspas got in team of the seasons in Spain, and Nketiah might be a disservice to Aspas, that. Omar said, who do you see making the Champions League final? I think Real Madrid v City. I'm going to go for... I don't think any of the English clubs will make the Champions League final. I think PSG, Real Madrid. I think the Europa League will be an all-English final. I think the Europa League will be Man United against Arsenal. I think the Champions League will be Real Madrid against PSG. I've just got a feeling that Mbappe and Neymar will get the better of Man City. I think they've got that extra bit of star quality. Real Madrid, Chelsea is going to be a tight one as well. But I think Madrid will just get the better of Chelsea. But I'm looking forward to it. They're going to be two good games. And like I said, I'll be doing watch-alongs for both. Gareth said, big respect, bro. I really can't stand the Kroenkes. We need to stop putting money in their pockets so it hurts them. We need to stay united and get them out of the club. Sell Arsenal, Kroenke out, Wales. Gunnar, you're totally right, man. You're totally right. This is City's chance. I agree with that. I do think it is their chance. You know, they're never going to get a better opportunity than this. When you look at the fact that Bayern Munich are out and all them teams are out. So, yeah, let's see. Hey, smash the likes, people. Over 1,600 of you in it. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. And, you know, let's get to 25K as soon as possible. Oh, mods, the trolls are back again in force. I mean, surely people got better things to do with their day, man. It's unbelievable. I don't know where these guys get the time from. But, hey, obviously with Balogun signing his new contract, we're close to getting to the point where hopefully this is the situation. Because what we're doing now, we're protecting our future with these players. For the first time in a long time, Arsenal have got good assets that are going to become bigger, better, worth more money. Internationals, you know, Saka's an England international. Martinelli, I'm sure. I mean, he's trained with the Brazil squad, but wasn't selected. Balogun, I'm sure, will play England under 21s. Smith Rowe will get an England call up soon. You know, apparently Arsenal are in talks to give Smith Rowe a new contract. These four, to me, are, you know, such a great part of the future of Arsenal. You can put on top of that, you know, Gabrielli's only 23. Kieran Tierney's only 23. Pepe's only 25. Saliba, when he comes back, I believe Saliba's only 19. You know, we've got a good core there of young players. Odegaard's 22 if we can get him on a permanent deal as well. So, listen, the sad thing is we're only probably like 4 players away, in my opinion. I think we need 4 players in the summer that go into the team. Like, not one and then 3 of them are on the bench. We need 4. We need a right back. We need a centre midfielder to go and play next to Thomas Partey. We need another Cam if Odegaard doesn't sign, because we can't just have Smith Rowe as our only number 10 option. I'm still not sure whether possibly maybe we need a centre-back as well, in my opinion. Because I'm still not sure that we've got 2 centre-backs that totally convince me that we've got great centre-back options. Obviously, we're hoping Saliba is the answer when he comes back. But we'll have to see on that. He's having a great season at Nice. I saw a stat he hasn't been dribbled past the whole time he's been at Arsenal. The bigger your channel gets, the more trolls, Big C. Oh, man, I'm finding out in full effect right now, people. Every day, these lot are hammering me, man. But yeah, listen, I promise I will add some more mods. I got a lot of questions from you guys. I will add some more moderators, maybe after this, actually, because the stream being over 2 hours tonight, I may have a lot to deal with all this spam that's going off from the trolls, you know. Dre said we need a new goalkeeper, left back, centre mid, Cam, right back, centre back. You're right, actually. We need a left back as cover for Kieran Tierney. You know, having to play Granit Xhaka at left back in a Europa League semi-final is ridiculous. We have to have another option. We shouldn't be playing him there. And I tell you what, I saw Samuel Chukwueze the other day for Villarreal, and we can't be playing Xhaka against him. That's for certain. Maxim said, Curtis, did you set up Discord? I haven't done that yet. It's something I will look at and get a little community going as well, so we can interact maybe more. Seb said, big up C, we need to build on these guys, solid and ambitious. And it's good to see them committing to the football club. They want to be there. They believe in what's happening, Chris said, big up Arsenal, West Midlands Supporters Club official. Big up Chris. Big up all the Gooners worldwide, man. We're massive, man. We're massive. Everyone, all around the world, you'll see Arsenal, Xhaka will get rinsed. I mean, listen, we'll be doing the preview tomorrow, and we'll be looking at the team news and, what team we're going to pick. As I said, I'll do the show again around 2 p.m., but we'll wait for the press conference and see what news comes out. David Luiz back in training. Now, whether that's great news or not, I don't know what you guys think about that, but David Luiz is back in full training and could be available for selection. Would you guys play David Luiz at centre-back against Villarreal? Or listen, we'll talk about that tomorrow, definitely. Aubameyang trained on Sunday by himself. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't trained with the team yet. The pictures of training have not come out today. So we'll get an idea sometime today whether Aubameyang has trained or not. And then we'll talk about that tomorrow. Big up Minir. Hi from Romania. Make Arsenal great again. 100%, man. Thank you very much for your super chat. Let's make this great club great again. And let's hope we get it sorted. The troll account is just one guy. Yeah, man. I mean, what can you do? Try and block them, but they come back with another name, When is the Arteta out protest? Boy, if the next 2 Thursdays don't go well, then you're going to... That could be sooner than you think. It might be Kroenke and Arteta out, big up Rayan. Can I become a mod, bro? Always watching. Big up Big C. Listen, after this stream, I'll definitely... get a few more mods. I appreciate you guys supporting and wanting to help out on the channel. It's much appreciated. I've got a few mods. They do their thing for me. Much appreciated. But obviously sometimes, maybe I go live and not everyone is able to watch. So, with these trolls, the way they're getting out of control, man, I need plenty of you guys if you can. Be much appreciated. Bissouma, Anderson, Lamptey and Odegaard. Arsenal are being linked with... how do you say it? Joachim Anderson, Swedish international centre-back, plays for Fulham. He is a good player. He's having a very good season as well. And Lyon apparently willing to sell him for about £25 million in the summer. Could be a decent option. I think he's only 24 years of age. And he's had a good year in the Prem, despite the fact that Fulham have really struggled. So I would definitely be interested in him. People, I'm out of here. Really appreciate your support. Great numbers today. Over 1,600 of you. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's hit that 25k sooner rather than later. I think I'm only a few hundred off that, people. And membership is available for anyone who's interested. I will be back tonight, 7:45. Real Madrid against Chelsea. Live watch along. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Press conference reaction, team news. Will preview Villarreal Arsenal. 7:45 tomorrow night will be PSG against Manchester City. And then the following night, Scenes FC back in full effect. Arsenal against Villarreal. Good evening versus Trust the Process. I'll see you guys tonight. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care. I'll be back later on. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Bless.